Yeah, so we're going to crack a very mysterious and intriguing case. It's Jack the Ripper.
It's a 123 years old mystery, and it has never been solved. We're gonna talk about it, the various theories.
Okay, but what's so important about Jack the Ripper? Why is he so different as a serial killer? I know he's the first serial killer. That's all I know, me.
No, he's not the first serial killer.
He's not?
No. First known serial killer. There was some before, but you know, and there's been like 5 murders in 1888.
5 murders?
Yeah. Known from 1888, and the first one, 31st, 1888. It happened around 3:40 a.m. and it was from a woman called Polly Nichols. She was discovered in Buck Row. That's somewhere in Whitechappel, England, in case we didn't mention it. She's considered to be the first victim of Jack the Ripper, and she was found and her throat was slit.
I was told that she was a hooker, a prostitute.
They were all prostitutes, yes.
So he went around killing prostitutes?
Yeah, in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And he would mutilate them. He would just go in the streets. It was all dimly lit, almost in the dark, and you couldn't see anything. And he would just strangle them.
Yeah, but there must have been people around.
Well, that's the thing. It was done in complete darkness almost. He would mutilate them, cut them up, and some of them he would remove parts of their bodies.
The second murder?
The second murder happened in the 8th of September, 1888. And it happened between 5:30 a.m. and 6 a.m. Her name was Annie Chapman, and she was even more brutally murdered.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they have pictures of this?
They have pictures of this, yes.
Okay, and the third murder,
The third was what we call the double event, and it happened on the 30th of September 1888, and the first murder was committed in less than 1 hour. At 1 a.m. Elizabeth Stride's body was discovered. At 1 a.m. and at 1:45, Catherine Eddowes is found dead. And the murders was 45 minutes different places.
And they were prostitutes also?
Yes, they were prostitutes. She was discovered in Mitri Square in the city of London. And that brought both police forces, the Metro Police and the London Police, I believe it's called, if I remember right. They joined forces and they're on the hunt for the Ripper.
And they never found this guy?
No.
But do they know how he looks?
Well, there's been suspects. There's been all kinds of people that said what they saw. And what they seem to say, more or less, is if you read it, is that he had a top hat and a mustache. Some kind of hat.
Okay.
And the final murder was the 9th of November, 1888. And it was a woman named Mary Kelly, and she was murdered inside her home. So the Ripper, she brought the Ripper home, and he brutally murdered her, like mutilated her beyond recognition. Her face was destroyed. Her body, he would take the left, like the kidney, he would take it out, and he would leave stuff on the left shoulder, like all her intestine.
That's the last murder?
Yeah, but there's been many suspects.
Okay. So why don't they find this guy? Why didn't they find him? Why are they trying to figure him out now and they still can't find him?
Because that's one of the greatest mysteries of the 19th century. There's been like many suspects, like Aaron Kaminsky. He's one of the main suspects, who was a Polish Jew, and they were thinking it was him. He's like one of the prime suspects, but there are so many suspects over here. There's also a guy called Druitt, and he was a homosexual, Monton John Druitt, and he was sexually insane.
Yeah, but there's a lot of insane people.
The murders, they ended, and he committed suicide. So he's one of the suspects. But I could go on and on, but there are so many suspects. There's even one royal.
They're saying that he's connected to the royal family.
Yeah, the Freemasons. That's another one. That they were saying that the grandson of Queen Victoria was responsible for it.
Why don't they go and look for his DNA?
I think the DNA right now, it wouldn't be valuable because it's been too long ago. And back then, don't forget, they didn't have fingerprints, they didn't have DNA and blood. Blood they would take back then, they couldn't tell if it was blood from an animal or a human being.
Okay.
And he also sent letters to them.
This person?
Yes, he sent letters.
So how did they know his name was Jack?
Because one of the letters, the first letter, he wrote a letter to them and he told them.
The bottom was probably written by Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, exactly. It was written Jack the Ripper.
In blood, right? From what I understand, he used to write in blood.
Some of the letters, well, there was ink on it.
Okay.
But not the like. And the second letter called, in fact, I believe it's From Hell. He sent it to this man called George Lusk, who was in charge of the Vigilant people. Like, he was just like a people's person, and he would just take control of it, you know. He was like working with the police, you know. He sent him a kidney with the letter, and they took the letter, they took the kidney, and they got it analyzed, and it was a human kidney. A human kidney. What's your take on this? Was it a royal conspiracy?
I don't know. We'll never know, I guess.
But there is evidence that apparently the Scotland Yard is withholding evidence about this case that they don't want known. They may have the answer, but it's been sealed up. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a multi-million-dollar industry. There's movies, books, DVDs, Ripper tours. There's a Ripper tour that goes on every year, I think, and it's called the Ripper Walk. You could go to England and have a Ripper Walk. So if they ever found out who the identity is 100%, the whole thing would probably go down.
So they'll never want you to discover who it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, someone out there must know who the Ripper was. I don't claim to know who it is. This would like to know, but there isn't. You know, they even say it's a doctor. There's even a theory which it's a Jill the Ripper, a woman, a midwife. I forget her name, but they said that it could have been a woman also who was a midwife who was insane, but I doubt it.
We can speculate and speculate and speculate, but
he was a brutal killer.
I guess we'll never know the truth.
And look at this book. This is just one of the books. The Mammoth Book of Jack the Ripper, but there's hundreds of different books. I mean, once you start with this, you don't stop. I mean, that's all I'm doing is continually studying this. It's like a good murder mystery. But all I know is if these women would have just died regularly, they would have never been known, because people in those days, in the Victorian age, the 1880s, they didn't care about hookers. They were known as dirt. It's just the way they were murdered. That's why they're famous. And they even have like in their graves, it says that they were murdered and all that stuff. Like you see like on the gravestone. But the thing is, he was never known. And why did he stop murdering? Was he caught for another crime that he didn't commit?
Or did he just die?
Did he just die? There's even rumors that he went to New York. That's another theory. Because there's a doctor that went to New York, and apparently there was mutilations there. I mean, they even have, if you've seen on the internet, I don't know if I showed it to you, they even did a composite picture of how he would look, how he looks now, and even where he lives. You know, but
where he lived.
Where he lived. Yeah, lived. Yeah, sorry. But the thing is it right, the picture? I mean, it was a mustache and just a guy, a regular guy. The policeman in charge, Frederick Aberline, his favorite suspect was George Chapman, and he was born in Poland, but he immigrated to the United Kingdom. He would poison his wives. So that's a different MO from slashing. So, but Frederick Aberline, he almost did a nervous breakdown because there was so much that he.
So how many suspects were there?
Oh, maybe there was upwards to about 300 suspects, and 2,000 people were interviewed.
And nothing.
And nothing. No one was formally charged with this. Not one person.
It must have been very good.
Very good, but don't forget they didn't have like what they have now. No cameras, nothing.
Today would have been caught for sure.
You know? But the only thing we need would be a time machine to go back in time and to catch the Ripper. That's the way I see it.
Maybe we should do that.
Build a time machine?
Yeah.
We'll go back to 1888 and find out. Get a picture. That's the only way.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Exactly.